Hello everyone and welcome back to another Figurehead Reviews video. And today we are taking a look at the Target exclusive McFarlane Toys Spawn from their Mortal Kombat line. Here we have Spawn displayed in the front window with his exclusive battle axe. We get the Mortal Kombat logo there at the top and then Spawn's name down at the bottom. On the left-hand side, we do get a pretty basic product shot, nothing too fancy, but it works. And on the right-hand side, we just get the Mortal Kombat logo. On the back, we get a full shot of the figure, so just another product shot, no artwork, no bio, nothing like that, just an image of the figure. And then down at the bottom, we have the UPC code, so you can check with your local Target to see if they have this in stock. But enough about that, let's get this open and take a look at Spawn. And here is Spawn outside of his packaging, and my first impressions on this guy are pretty good. If you've watched my channel for any amount of time, you haven't seen any other McFarlane Toys reviews because this is going to be the first one. And I've always known that McFarlane has done great paint, great sculpt, and things like that, but the articulation was always in question, so I figured, you know what, I saw him at Target, why not get a look at this guy and see what this articulation is actually all about, and just get a first-hand look at a McFarlane toy for myself, finally. And like I said, pretty good first impression. So far, I haven't had too many poses that I'm having difficulty with. I've had to use the little peg stand he comes with a couple times to get him to stand up, but for the most part, you can get him in some pretty cool dynamic poses. I will admit it would have been nice if we would have gotten just maybe an extra hand, specifically just a fisted hand for that left hand, or maybe an open hand. Having another gripping hand just, I don't know, it's kind of a bummer for especially a line based on Mortal Kombat. A fisted hand would have been good. Now, speaking of accessories, he is going to come with two things. The first being this little stand, which is just a black disc with a peg on it and just says Mortal Kombat. Nothing fancy. And since this is the Target exclusive, it is going to come with the battle axe, and that looks really cool. I mean, they get some good detail in there, and we get some really well done paint. Good wash over it just to make it look weathered and used. Really matches the figure in terms of that aesthetic there. So I think that is awesome. I mean, look at that. A lot of detail on it. I love the green used on the eyes there, the skull. So very cool looking battle axe. Now when standing straight up, Spawn is coming in at 7 3/8 inches tall, which makes him just about 18.7 centimeters. So he is that 7-inch scale, but like I said, I don't collect any other Mortal Kombat figures or Spawn figures, so I'm fine having this one-off 7-inch scale figure in my collection since I don't have him next to any of my 6-inch scale stuff. But since he doesn't come with any other accessories, let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at the paint and sculpt on Spawn. And getting up close here, we can see a great looking sculpt here. I really love the design of the suit, all the black parts of the suit, really kind of showcasing the sort of, that necroplasm living suit concept that they have there. So I think that is really well done. And those eyes again, that green just glowing. Man, yeah, really well done. We get some shading around the eyes as well. And of course, just in true McFarlane fashion, just everything really looks good. While we're looking at the cape here too, I mean, I like the material used. It is soft enough that it moves around, doesn't get in the way. And I love the sculpt work on that as well, actually. You get some great texturing and a great wash over that to bring that texture out. So really well done. Now, of course, being a Spawn figure, having a big flowing cape would have been great. But in a $20 figure, I think they did what they could, and it works well. The clasps around the cape, yeah, not bad. Paint looks like it came out pretty good. I mean, when you get really close, you can see some issues, but otherwise not too shabby. Chest work there, or the torso, again, you can see just all the little sculpted details of that necroplasm suit. Man, yeah, it does look really good. There's no denying that McFarlane has always had great looking sculpts and paint. I mean, all the gauntlets, all the little cracks in there, with all that wash throughout the whole thing, just to bring it all out. And the paint does get a little bit iffy in some spots, but not enough that it detracts from the figure. And then, of course, you have the gauntlet on this side, and then you get the bigger gauntlet, bigger spikes, and everything that you get with this side. And that looks really well done as well. I love the cracks there. The spikes looking like they're actually emerging from the armor as opposed to being mounted on it. Like they've broken through. Man, that is really good looking. Chains around his waist. You get a nice wash on those as well. Just bringing out, again, some more of those details. It is a soft material, so it moves when you pose, so I like that. You can see a slight difference in the black here on the lower, I guess not lower torso, on the crotch region here. This is actually going to be a soft material over a hard piece of plastic, whereas these are all the hard pieces of plastic. So you get a little bit of a duller color. He is otherwise a little bit glossy. I mean, he does shine. Going down the legs, again, just a continuation of that necroplasm sculpt. I really do like that. The pouches here around his legs came out looking good. Some real simple paint there. No complaints. And then looking down around the ankles, of course, we get more spikes. I love it. And I really do. I mean, the way the spikes are breaking through the armor, I really do like that. And you get a lot of detail here on the boot. Man, really cool. One thing I will say, so the boot is a bit of a soft material, but obviously to be true to the character, I mean, it goes all the way to the bottom of the foot, but the problem with that is you can't really do any angle posing, like it's not going to let you, if that foot's flat, that's going to be in the way. So that is a little bit of a disappointment because it does limit some of the articulation, but otherwise the figure is pretty solid. Now, speaking of the articulation, so you have a head that can go side to side. I mean, if the cape's, you can go all the way around, but there's no need to. You can look down, let's see, about that far, not bad, and then look up a pretty decent amount, actually. That's not bad at all. And then you get some good side to side also, so that's really good. I like that, actually. That's helped with some of the poses. You have arms that can come up, little... is it actually more than 90? Just barely more than 90 degrees. Full rotation, except you're going to hit the cape there, so you're going to have like some wonkiness to it. And then he does have, I guess they're butterfly joints, but not a whole lot of motion out of them. At least I couldn't get a whole lot of motion out of them. But it does add some more range of motion to that shoulder. So you get... I guess maybe they're not butterfly. They're up and down. I haven't watched any other reviewers, so I'm kind of seeing this for the first time on myself. So it's kind of like a pop-down joint, isn't it? But it's there. You do have a bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then you do have a ball hinge at the wrist, which it's kind of hard to see, but you're going to have a hinge so you can hinge the hands in any direction you want to, and that'll rotate. So, I mean, you're going to get side to side, whatever angle you need to, but it's kind of difficult to get to because these gauntlets really get in the way. But, if I wanted to go up and down with that ulnar and radial, then I can do that. If I want it to be flexion and extension, I can do that. So, good articulation there. Torso articulation is awesome. So you do have a diaphragm joint and then a ball joint there at the waist. So we can look forward decently. He can look back pretty decent, but you get a lot of good range, like going side to side. Like, yeah, I really like that. And that really helps for some of those poses, wielding the battle axe that you saw in like my 360, arm back and kind of twisting there. So really nice there. Legs can come apart more than you need them to there. And then you're going to be able to kick forward pretty fair amount, backwards, not much at all. One of the things that I'm bummed about, no thigh cut, which I know they don't like doing thigh cuts because they don't want to break up that articulation. So you get a little bit of movement in the hip joint, but nothing that would be on the scale of what an actual thigh cut would give you. And then he does have double jointed knees, but sometimes the way the legs go, they kind of like kick out to a certain side, and since you don't have that thigh cut, you can't really straighten them. So... And then you are going to have a hinge and ankle pivot. The pivot is kind of tricky, I've noticed, but it works. And you can see it's similar to the wrist joint. If I need it to kick that way, I can. You can just rotate it around. And then you do get a toe joint, which that's probably the most useful feature for this leg, is if you do want to have it kicked back, you can use that toe joint to have him stand on. And that is going to do it for this review, everyone. So overall, as far as being my first McFarlane Toys or modern McFarlane Toys review, it's not a bad figure. It's certainly nothing crazy, but at the price point of $20, that's actually a pretty good value for what you're getting in terms of the detail and everything. So I do really appreciate that much of it. I will say, though, this concept of doing the variants, so as I mentioned with this being Target, you get the battle axe. I believe the Walmart exclusive is a sword, and then I don't know if it was GameStop or just the general release had the mace. I think that was all the versions. But they didn't do anything else. You just got a different weapon. So it would have been cool if maybe one version came with the sword and, an Al Simmons head. Another version came with, whatever. Just something to actually make the figure itself worth getting. From the pictures that I saw, it looks like the figure is identical. You're literally going to pay $20 just to get a sword and a mace and a battle axe if you already have the actual figure. So that seems kind of, silly to me. But anyway, like I said, the figure's not bad, and I don't mind having a 7-inch Spawn figure in the line, or rather in the collection, just because, like I said, I don't have any other Spawn figures right now, so it doesn't throw my scale off. I'm still not totally sold on the idea of the multiverse line, though, with McFarlane, because of that 7-inch scale. It doesn't match anything I already own, and that just it gives me the impression that I'm starting all over with my DC line, and that's just rough. So I know that's a little off topic. But anyway, if you do like this review, though, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe for more content just like this. I'm trying to branch out into other lines as much as I can. So hopefully we'll be able to keep doing that. And we're getting close to 1,000 subscribers, so thank you for that as well. But anyway, as I said, that is it for the review. Thanks for stopping by today and watching my video, and have a great day.